Hey everyone, this is Disc Junkie. And I am temporarily in Gothenburg. Traveled here for work, and I got some time to kill after my shift ended. So I'm gonna try to find a second-hand shop that I've never been to. So give me a moment to get there, and we'll see what we can find. Okay, holy shit, I just scored some awesome books that I've been looking for like crazy, and I honestly never thought I would find them. They did cost me quite a bit, but yeah, I'm gonna try to find my way back to the hotel, and then we'll just go through what I found. What a day. Alright, so I've now had some dinner, just sitting in my bed here, sort of stripped down to the bare minimum, and was able to have some crisps, just, you know, chilling with some dinner, because it's just been a very, very tiresome day. I've been working my ass off. But in any case, now I thought we would check out the books, but this is about all the energy I got, so you're just gonna have to bear with the sort of spontaneous setup. Okay, so as for today, I essentially got a stack of books, and these are all books by Kurt Hson, who, you know, I tend to collect and tend to talk about. And I can start off by mentioning two magazines, actually. And these are actually stuff that I traded. I essentially met up with one of my friends in Gothenburg who had acquired a couple of really odd magazines that I didn't know about. And this is a series which is called Sextas, or Sextasy, if you're gonna try to translate it. This is essentially a play on the word ecstasy in Swedish. So instead of ecstasy, it's sextasy. So yeah, pretty self-explanatory. So this is quite an obscure magazine. I had honestly never seen an actual copy of it, but I don't think it's like they printed a very low number or anything. I think this ran for quite a few years, but for some reason, these seem to be very unusual if you want to talk about the Kurt Hson sort of catalog. These are not particularly common. Anyway, this is number 9 from 1970, and yeah, I'm not going to focus too much on it, but because, you know, I can't really flip through it because it's very uncensored. I also got a second copy, which is number 5 from 1970, and you can see this has the same sort of old style where the front cover essentially looks like, I don't know, almost like an index page. It sort of feels like there's missing a page, but this is actually the real cover. This is the front cover. That's what it looks like. And they are pretty thick. It's sort of like a pocket book almost. So yeah, can't really show you the back of this because there is some nudity on there. But yeah, really happy about this. And I traded these two for a videotape, which I didn't need. And so yeah, really happy about getting these. So that's just some bonus content for this video. and I realized that my voice is breaking up a bit, and I guess I've just, I've been running around all day. I'm essentially in Gothenburg now because we are going through some renovations in our Gothenburg office. I work at a DHL sub company, I guess you could say, and we are essentially remodeling one of our Gothenburg offices. And I work in IT, sort of internal IT support. So I've just been traveling here to sort of make sure that all the IT stuff is working. Like I've been going through all of these sort of Ethernet ports throughout the office and just patching cables and making sure that everything works. And it's just been a really tough day today. So I'm just really, really tired from running around and also interacting with so many people. Like there's so many sort of individuals that you don't really see on a regular basis. I mean, I talk to them on Teams and whatnot through work. Of course, we're like a national support. Like we work out of Stockholm, but we're still responsible for IT support towards all our offices in Sweden. So with that, it's just I guess I'm not as used to running around and sort of talking to so many people. I mean, I do that in my regular work as well, but I don't know, I just think that these last few days have been very hectic. So that's probably why I just realized that my voice is a little sore. I guess I'm just not used to this. But in any case, let's get back to talking about the other books that I found. And I was really excited about these, even though these were traded. Funnily enough, I think, I haven't really made sure to confirm this yet, but it's quite possible that these two magazine sort of books actually came from the antique shop that I visited today, because the guy who I traded these with, he was also the person who set me on to this antique shop. And this is an antique shop in Gothenburg, which is called Hson-Books. And I've never visited them before, so I was very curious about this. And so it's funny that, when I was browsing through books there, the owner told me that, we were talking about this publisher in general, and I mentioned that I had stumbled upon a couple of these magazines, which I didn't know about before, and sort of some of the contents in them. And he said, like, well, I think we might have had some of those. You sure didn't see any back there? And I said, like, no, I didn't really see anything. It's, oh, maybe we sold them already. So I would assume that maybe these were actually purchased from there, and so they ended up with me anyway, and sort of, just found that a curious little detail. But in any case, so let's go ahead and check out the rest of the books. And the next one is a little bit uncensored, but it's not too bad. So this is the most expensive book that I picked up today. And this is a book which is called How to Get Better Breasts, I suppose, or Better Bosom. So, I mean, I don't really know what to say about this. It's essentially, sorry, I got the receipt in here. That's what's poking out of the book covers, in case you're curious. So, I don't really know what to say about this, but it's essentially like an instructional book with some exercises on how you get a better chest or bosom or breasts, tits, boobies, whatever. I guess it's supposed to sort of build your muscles or just maybe, I don't know, just give you a better figure. So I don't know. It's got some photos in here, which I'm not going to show, but it's just a very strange and odd book. And this was the most expensive pickup for the day. The shop wanted 500 Swedish crowns for this. That's about 50 euro. I was almost ready to pay this because I gotta tell you, this is a title I've been looking for. I've never seen a single copy for sale. I was a bit iffy about this particular copy because I noticed that it is not really, well, kind of laminated. You can see this as a glossy front, but there's essentially been plastic taped to the front. Like you can see there's a sort of plastic wrapper on there. So probably because this was, I don't know. It's a thing done to protect it, obviously, but I'm assuming that this is something that the owner did themselves. and not really something that was on it when it was sold. But either way, I mean, it has kept it in pretty good shape. And like I said, never seen a single copy. I did think it was a bit expensive, so I actually asked them, like, is this price set in stone? And he was like, well, he said himself, like, you know, this is pretty much non-existent. And I told him, like, yeah, I know, I've been looking for this, and I know it's a very unusual book. But he was really kind to me and told me that I could get this for 300. So he did quite a price drop there, and that's essentially 30 euro. That is definitely a hell of a bargain for this book, I would say. So really happy about that. 30 euro for a very unusual book. Now, next up, we got another one from Kurt Hson, which is a Fickis book, which is also part of a series that he released quite a few copies of. And this is a particular book that I've also been looking for, which is called Your Sexual Horoscope from 1969. And as per the subtext here, it says that this is a sex guide that wants to help you plan for a larger erotic happiness. So yeah, I don't really know what to say. Here is a back shot, which is a bit uncensored, but it seems like they're mostly covered up. And here it says that you can learn about your erotic possibilities of 1969. And this is an explicit sexual characteristics of all the 12 signs plus weekly horoscope for the entire year of 1969. Sorry if my translation is a bit so and so, but if you know Swedish, you can just read this, and if not, you can probably take a screenshot of this and use AI to translate or whatever. I don't know, I'm just so exhausted. But this is actually a hardbound book, so it has a paper wraparound, and then it's just a black hardbound book underneath. So very happy about this, as this is also one of those obscure titles that I didn't own, that I was missing, but I knew about it. So very happy about this. This was let's see what this was. I think this was, yeah, 150 Swedish crowns. That's 15 euro, which I thought was an insane bargain. This is a very rare book, which I've never seen a copy of as well. I would definitely have paid more for this if needed, so that was definitely a very, very cool pickup. Now we have two more books, and these are older releases from this publisher. The first one is by a guy named Jan Hogan. I think that is a pseudonym, and this is called The Blood... God, how are you supposed to translate this? The blood demands, or the blood covets, or the blood desires. Sort of hard to translate into English, but this is quite a early Kurt Hson publication, and I don't think this has any illustrations. This is just a sort of erotic novel. But I was curious to see how old this is, because I know this is like the one of the older publications, and I can't really do this without setting the book down. So just give me a moment to read when this is from. Well, I honestly can't find it right now. But in any case, this is quite an unusual book, not a book I've ever seen, and I would consider this quite collectible. I think this is essentially a gay theme. I think, I'm not entirely sure. But yeah, it's a very collectible book, definitely an unusual copy. And from the same era, I found one more title, which is also a very early title, and this is another Jan Hogan book, which is called Burning Flower. And we can just flip this over as well. So there you go, that is the back cover. And yeah, I mean, I don't know what to say. These were very unexpected. It's books that I've had on my radar, but I haven't really ever seen them. I've only seen pictures of them. I think this one is also, I think they're probably from the same age. And so, I mean, you can Google for the titles in case you want to know. Now, these are quite worn. You can tell that I assume these were books that were essentially bound, like the papers were bound, and someone sort of decided to open them up themselves. I don't know what this is called in English, but sometimes there will be like publisher's copies or whatever, where the pages are stuck together, so you have to manually cut them apart. And that's why some books have this sort of very sort of rough edge to them, because people cut them open using, not the best sort of approach or method. And that's why some of these pages look really, really rough. So yeah, but that's it for all of the book pickups today. And these two last ones were 20 euro per book, which I think they are definitely worth, even though they are old and sort of worn with age and a bit discolored and whatever. But they are incredible books. I've been looking for them for quite a while. So very cool to pick these up. And with all this, I guess I spent quite a bit of money. So yeah, we got 200, 400, 550, 650, 750, 850 for these books. So that's 85 euro for 4 books. So yeah, I mean, that is a lot of money, but I'm really crazy about these books, and I would definitely say that they are worth that and more. I would say that even if these are highly priced, these, getting these for that price, it's an absolute bargain. So I'm really happy about these. And these are also a very, very fun addition to my erotica Kurt Hson collection. But that is essentially it for this video. So I really hope you enjoyed it. I'm definitely enjoying my stay in Gothenburg, and this is an absolutely insane hotel. I just love the interior design. It's just so sort of, I don't know what to call it. It's sort of got a very weird sort of blend and a mix, which just makes it feel sort of like steampunk, I would say. It's got a lot of very sort of weird industrial looks to it. And yeah, if anyone's in Gothenburg and you want to get a really, really unique sort of hotel experience, they got great food, and the atmosphere of the rooms and the overall design of the hotel is just really, really unique and cool. It's called the Curiosa Hotel. It's hard to say in English. But yeah, you saw the logo when I walked into the entrance. So just be sure to check that out if you're ever in Gothenburg and want a really nice hotel experience. But now I'm absolutely exhausted, so I want to say thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. And as usual, hope to see you all next time.